extremely serious charges. If you are found guilty after the investigation, you will be disbarred from practicing law.
You know he didn't try to bribe you.
How dare you say that to me?
For God's sake, you're destroying him.
I was advised not to talk to you, Mr. Petrocelli.
I told you she doesn't want to talk to you.
Perjury is a felony. Butt out, lawyer, before you get hurt.
More trouble, huh?
More than you can handle.
I just know it.
We're doing the best we can. Just haven't been able to come up with anything concrete yet.
Well, that's a great way to go to trial.
Look, we still have time. Believe me, we're still working on it, okay?
Okay, man.
You don't sound too happy.
Can't blame him. I've never gone to trial being so vulnerable before.
Morning, Counselor.
Oh, good morning, Foxy.
Good morning indeed. I have a feeling this one's going to be over with in a hurry.
Pretty confident, are you?
Well, with good reason. We've got motive, we got the murder weapon, and an eyewitness. What have you got?
Now, come on now, Foxy. That's privileged information. You know better than that.
Well, your little bag of tricks isn't going to do it this time, Tony. Not with Judge Anderson.
Anderson? I hope all I've heard about him isn't true.
Well, it all seems to be. He's a hard man, letter of the law. They call him the Barracuda on the municipal bench.
Barracuda, huh? I guess I better never get in the water with him then, huh?
The Superior Court in and for the County of San Remo is now in session. Judge David Anderson presiding. Be seated.
Would opposing counsel approach the bench? I would like to see both of you gentlemen in chambers immediately. Court will stand in recess for 30 minutes.
All rise.
Mr. Petrocelli, extremely serious charges. Attempting to suborn a witness have been leveled at you.
What?
I have a sworn statement that you met Mrs. Nancy Berwick at San Remo General Hospital on the evening of Thursday the 12th last, as she was visiting her husband, who was a patient there, and on the pretext of having her comment on some aspects of your client's defense, you handed her an envelope which contained pages from the preliminary hearing transcript. In the envelope, along with the pages, were $500 in small denomination currency in order that she would substantially change her testimony in favor of your client.
That is a lie.
We also have statements of 2 nurse witnesses who saw you hand the envelope to her.
Sure, I handed her the photocopy of the pages, but I had
That's
nothing
enough! Mr. Petrocelli, due to the gravity of the charge, I am removing you from this case as of this moment. The defendant will be offered alternate counseling, and the trial will be continued. And as I'm sure you know, Mr. Petrocelli, Penal Code Section 83.4 states, every person who willfully procures another person to commit perjury is guilty of subornation of perjury. And you are also aware that an attempt to suborn carries a penalty of up to 7 years. And I don't need to remind you, Mr. Petrocelli, if you are found guilty after the investigation, you will be disbarred from practicing law.
They took me off the case. They suspended me.
Why? What happened?
They say that I attempted to suborn a witness.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, she swore to it, and she's got 2 witnesses.
Who swore to it?
Mrs. Berwick.
She's the eyewitness.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm off the case until there's an investigation.
Oh, Tony.
Tony? You know, I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, I know that. Thanks, Foxy.
But whatever I believe or don't believe, you know what I'm going to have to do.
Of course.
I'll have to investigate the charges as thoroughly and as impartially as any other case.
Well, that's your job.
I'm going to have to bring you in to answer some questions as soon as I clear the time.
Whenever. Time is what I got plenty of now, I guess.
I'm sorry, Tony.
Come on, let's go home, honey.
Tony? Tony? Tony, would you stop it and look at me? Honey, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just letting off a little steam.
Are you through?
Yeah.
Honey, please don't shut me out. Don't try to carry this all by yourself.
I didn't mean to. I had to have that dug anyway.
Okay, but not like that. Not like you hated the ground.
Come on, lady, buy me a root beer, would you? You know, honey, I'm up against something I just don't know quite how to handle.
But you didn't do it. They must know that.
No, they don't. I mean, they have a sworn statement by a very reputable lady that I try to get her to lie.
Why would she do it?
That's the million-dollar question. Look, there's no question I was liable to lose that case.
So?
So, in the eyes of the court, there's a possibility. There's just a possibility that maybe I try to bribe her to help my client.
But you didn't.
No, of course not. Thanks.
Well, if you were losing the case, why would she or anyone else want to get you off of it?
I don't know. Maybe I was stepping on toes. Maybe I was into something I didn't even realize. But somewhere it has to do with this case. Whatever it is, I don't know.
What happens at your hearing?
Well, they present the charges against me, and then I have to disprove them.
I thought you were innocent until proven guilty.
They've got enough against me to make me look pretty guilty.
But that's stupid. That means that anyone, anytime can bring charges against you.
Yeah? Well,
But that's wrong. Tony, she lied. And don't tell me about your precious law. Because if a law can allow this to happen, then it's wrong.
Honey, but it might have been true. Look, the people living with that law have to police that law. They have to be positive that things like that just will not happen. Don't you understand?
All I know is that they are trying to take something away from you. And I look at you and I know how much you hurt. And I can't stand that. And I don't care about the law. All I care about is you. Anthony Petrocelli's office. No, I'm sorry. Mr. Petrocelli isn't taking any new cases right now. Goodbye.
Honey, where's the paperwork in the butt case?
Right there on your desk.
Hi, Mr. Petrocelli around?
Yes, but we're not taking any new clients.
No, I know. I'm here to take over an old one. My name's Mike Fisher. Judge Anderson appointed me to take over the Buck case.
We've been expecting you. I'm Maggie Petrocelli.
Oh, how do you do?
Fine. Come on. Tony, it's, Mike Fisher.
Mr. Petrocelli.
Call me Tony.
Mike Fisher.
Could I offer you some coffee?
Oh, I'd love it. Black, please.
You sit down, Mike?
Okay.
Okay. The, James Buck case, huh?
Right. Now, I'm meeting with him this afternoon, and I would like to know everything I can about it. First, one thing.
Yeah.
Is he guilty?
I don't think so, no.
Are you sure?
Well, it's just an instinct.
Well, how are your instincts batting?
Around 750.
It's a good average.
I'd like it a lot better if it were batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Is this your first murder trial?
Well, I've assisted on a couple, but, Yeah, this is the first. And I sure would love to win it.
Here, see if I can give you a little help, huh?
Now, they're charging murder one, right?
Yeah, well, they claim premeditation.
What?
Well, it started out as a simple roofing job, O'Leary construction. But here it is. Cost of a job was $600, which O'Leary said he financed.
But he didn't?
No, as soon as Buck signed the papers, O'Leary sold them back to statewide finance. Buck made the first payments, and he lost his job.
So they tacked on penalties.
Right. It ended up at about 900, see? So they threatened to foreclose. They added more penalties. They talked him into taking a larger loan to pay off the first loan.
How large?
1,500. Honey, is that coffee ready yet?
Yeah, right here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, baby. Well, there's no way he could pay it off, so he fell further and further behind.
More penalties and late charges?
Mm-hmm. Now, finally, turned it over to the Ace Collection Agency.
You tacked on penalties and a collection charge.
Yeah. At that point, he was in for 2,500. They kept hounding him. They threatened to foreclose his mortgage.
It would be premeditation for a saint.
Well, that's what the prosecution says. So Buck finally went down to the office to have it out with him face to face. He told me that he'd reached the end of the line. He didn't know what to do or where to turn. So he decided the only thing left to do was try to go down and talk to the manager and see if there wasn't some way he could work it out. It was Wednesday night, and he couldn't park in front of the collection office because of the street cleaning. So he pulled around the corner, parked his car, came back. He said it was kind of strange that the door was open and no one seemed to be there. But he went in.
Hello? Anybody here? Hello?
Then he tripped over something. It turned out to be the manager. He'd been stabbed and was almost dead. but he reached out and pushed the alarm button. Buck panicked. Looking around, he saw Mrs. Berwick looking in at him. He just panicked and ran. So the police responded to the alarm. Mrs. Berwick gave them a description. The police found the fingerprints in the office and the murder weapon, the letter opener. Honey?
Yeah?
A little more coffee, huh?
Sure.
He claims he must have grabbed it when he fell.
Okay, that's the bad news. What's the good?
Well, that's what I said. I was under the theory that he came in right after a robbery.
Why's that?
Well, there are some things missing. A couple of gold coins, expensive watch, stuff like that, and never turned up.
So if they turn up in a hawk shop or something, boom, he's off the hook.
Right, but so far nothing.
Okay. Well, I guess I will go meet with our client.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Oh, you never asked me if I was innocent.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't ask. See you tomorrow. Miss Petrocelli. Oh, thank you for that coffee.
You're welcome. Does he remind you of anyone?
Why, is that what I was like?
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, when things pick up around here, maybe we ought to talk to him, huh?
Well, that's terrific. You are facing disbarment and you're talking about expanding.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm gonna get right off my duff and see what's behind all this.
Well, it's about time.
Okay, you tell Pete to meet me at the courthouse, huh?
Okay.
I'll see you later, baby.
Okay.
Hi, Pete.
How are you feeling, Tony?
I think the patient's gonna recover.
I never had any doubts. Where do we start?
Well, one thing first. Look, this thing might start to get a little dirty, huh? So if there's anything I ask you to do and you don't want to, just let me know.
Tony, you can ask me anything. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you.
Yeah, I know that, Pete. One thing first, this investigation we've been doing, there must be a tie-in between the loan company collection business. And something's there, and this Mrs. Berwick. I want to find out how they got to that lady.
All right.
I want you to check out the Ace Collection Agency.
You bet. And what about you?
I'm going to see Mr. Bill O'Leary.
O'Leary, isn't he the roofer?
Yeah. He's also the one that started this thing going. I'll see you later, Pete.
You bet.
Folks, I can do you the complete job for $800. You won't have to worry about financing at all. I have my own credit department. As long as you own this house or you have a job, I can arrange 100% financing.
Did you let him read the fine print, O'Leary?
Hey, you must be the neighborhood joker. I carry the best fire retardant shingles.
No, it's no joke, folks. If I were you, I'd check out the writing in the contract. You see, I'm an attorney, and I have a client who signed one of those, and they're trouble.
Butt out, lawyer, before you get hurt.
See, he won't carry a contract for more than a week. He makes his profit by selling your loan agreement to a finance company. Hey, wait a second. You gotta be kidding, aren't you? In front of 2 witnesses? Take my advice, folks, and check out the Better Business Bureau for a list of reputable contractors.
I think we'll look around a little further before we decide, Mr. O'Leary. Thank you.
You just dropped yourself in a bunch of trouble.
More trouble, huh?
More than you can handle. Now get out of my way.
O'Leary, I think we better have a little talk.
I got nothing to say to you.
You can still bail out without getting hurt too much.
You don't learn very easy, do you?
Maybe you can teach me something, huh?
Maybe I will.
Can I help you?
You the new manager?
Yeah, they sent me down from Phoenix to take over.
Who's they?
You, want to make a payment or something?
You bet. On the account of James Buck.
Are you James Buck?
You know he's in jail.
Get back to your work. Now, look, I don't know anything about James Buck.
What about the finance company that sells you their contracts?
We're associated in business with many companies.
Associated with or tied in with?
This isn't a bleeding heart society. People get behind. We just collect here. Now, I've got work to do.
Just a minute. I got a friend in trouble, and I want some answers.
You're crazy! Call the police!
When they get here, tell them you were talking to Pete Ritter. And if I have to come back, he won't need the police. He'll need an ambulance.
The police, it's ringing.
Forget the police. Get Phoenix. And then O'Leary.
It goes from O'Leary to statewide to Ace Loan to Southwest Repossession Sales.
And where's it go from there?
Well, somewhere higher. Somewhere there's an umbrella company that owns the whole setup. And, that's who's got the key.
Tony, it's Mama.
Hello, Mama? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You're right. I forgot to call. No. Maggie's not sick. No, Mom, I'm not sick either. No. No, I'm sorry. I just forgot to call. Yeah. Yeah. No. No, yeah, well, it was a $20 fine. No, I can't appeal it. No, he could have got off a lot worse, Mama. Yeah. How's Papa? The girls? Good. Oh, she says she got the picture. She thanks you. Maggie sends you a big kiss. Listen, Mama, I won't forget to call you next week, huh? Okay, sweetheart. Sa benedica.
There's one other thing, Tony. I checked Mrs. Berwick's bank records.
Yeah.
And if they paid her to do it, she hasn't put that money any place that I can find.
But it had to be.
Well, I don't know. Do it. Husband in the hospital, the insurance just about tapped out. She applied for food stamps last week.
The hospital, huh? Maybe Mr. Berwick might have seen something that day, huh? Honey, I want you to call him there, see if I can talk to him, huh? Pete, I want you to keep digging, huh? She must have stashed that money somewhere. So if there was a payoff, she certainly was going to leave it lying around the house, was she?
Mr. Berwick, please. You're sure of that? Okay, well, thanks. Mr. Berwick was moved from his room very suddenly 2 days ago. They don't know where.
What?
Going home, buddy.
Car's out there.
Yes?
What'd I tell you?
It's all right, Mrs. Berwick. Everything's fine.
Mrs. Berwick, I'd like to talk to you.
I was advised not to talk to you, Mr. Petrocelli.
By who?
By the judge, Mr. Petrocelli. Good day.
Mrs. Berwick,
Let go of the lady's door.
I want to ask you a couple of questions.
I told you she doesn't want to talk to you.
Perjury is a felony, Mrs. Berwick.
Passing.
So do yourself a favor and leave her alone.
You guys must really work cheap.
You think so?
Yeah. How else can a lady in food stamps afford you?
If we can find out where they moved Berwick, maybe we can get something out of him.
Yeah?
And somewhere, that big company on top has to be on record, and we're gonna find it, Maggie. We're doing all we can.
Oh, I know that. I know. It's just It's not enough, Pete. I feel so helpless.
Maggie, we've been in tight spots before.
Yeah, but not quite like this. I mean, why would she do it? Why would she lie about Tony?
That's what we have to find out somehow.
Yeah, somehow. You know, Pete Ritter, you're an awful good friend. Hey, how'd it go with Mrs. Berwick?
Well, it doesn't look as though I'm going to be able to talk to her. She's got a couple of very professional guards hanging around her.
Somebody afraid you might get to her?
Yeah, it seems that way.
I'm still checking on Mr. Berwick. Nothing yet.
Anthony Petrocelli's office. Hi. Yeah, that's right. I'll tell him. That was Haskell Fox. Mrs. Berwick called him about your trying to see her. He wants you to meet him at the courthouse.
Did he say please?
Well, you know Foxy.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Pete, can I borrow your car?
You bet.
Well, she didn't waste any time calling.
You know, you didn't help your case any by going to see her.
No, I had to try, Haskell.
I know. I also know you conducted a thorough investigation into her background. Well, we did, too.
Same results?
Seems so. This lady hasn't even gotten a traffic ticket. We can't find any reason why she'd lie.
But you did.
Tony, is there any possibility that somehow the envelope was switched? That somebody did arrange for you to give her an envelope with the money?
I don't see how. I mean, I had it with me all day.
Yeah, but are you sure that's the envelope you gave her? Oh, Tony, I'm sorry, but we just haven't been able to come up with some reason for what she did.
But how about the fact that two guys guarding around the clock?
There are?
Yeah, to make sure that I stay away from her.
Well, she went one step further. She asked for a restraining order against you.
Did you ask the judge to issue one?
Well, I haven't been able to find the time.
Thanks, Haskell. Well, I'll see you in court, huh?
Hello. Do you have children going to school here? I don't believe I've seen you before.
You've seen me. In court before you lied about my husband.
You're Mrs. Petrocelli.
That's right.
I told your husband I wouldn't speak to him.
He isn't here.
Or to you.
Why?
I said all that I have to say in court.
But you lied.
How dare you say that to me?
How dare you lie about my husband? You know he didn't try to bribe you.
But he did. He gave me an envelope with $500 in it.
I don't believe that. And I don't believe you. For God's sake, you're destroying him. Whatever it is they promised you, it can't be worth that.
Nobody promised me anything.
Then why? I am watching a part of my husband die in front of my eyes.
That's an unfortunate choice of words, Mrs. Petrocelli. Leave me alone.
Why is that unfortunate? What is it that you won't say?
Leave me alone.
I can't. I can't let you do this to my husband.
I haven't done anything but tell the truth. I'm sorry. Perhaps you don't know your husband as well as you think you do.
No. I know him. And I know how much he loves the law. And I know above anything else that he would never do anything to corrupt it.
You all right, Mrs. Berwick?
Lady, just don't make any trouble. Leave her alone.
This isn't the end, Mrs. Berwick. Somehow we'll get to the truth. Excuse me.
I tell you, Mr. Fox has laid out his case for me, and I don't know how to beat him.
Why don't you just take the easy way? Get yourself suspended.
How's that going?
I don't know for sure, Mike. You know, I'm gaining on it, I think. I just figured this whole thing out. I'm sure it'll help your client.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to happen in time.
No, it better.
Well, you may be looking at the slowest trial lawyer in history, but I don't know how long I can stall.
Well, excuse me. Hello? Yes, Mr. O'Leary. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very interested in talking to you again. Mm-hmm. Right, I'll see you in 15 minutes. Right. You know, why don't I trust that guy?
You going to talk to him?
Well, he wants to talk, so I think I'd better. Oh, Mike. Good luck tomorrow, huh? O'Leary?
Mr. O'Leary's closed. You're trespassing again, buddy.
Don't you ever eat?
That's very funny, but not very smart.
But you can't come up with a winner every time.
You were told to stay away from Mrs. Berwick.
So?
So that means your whole family, including your wife.
Uh-huh. Maggie saw her, huh?
That's right. And it was a mistake.
The next time, we'll kill you.
Tony, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay, honey.
Well, what happened?
I just ran into a couple of Mrs. Berwick's friends, that's all. You did see her, didn't you?
That's why? Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
No. Look, I wouldn't want to have you any other way. Besides, I think some good came out of it.
What?
One of those goons. Now, I'm sure there's a link between O'Leary and that group and Mrs. Berwick.
Tony, I got it. I got it.
Was it catching?
No, I found out where Mr. Berwick is.
Yeah, so tell me.
He was flown out of here on the 18th. He's at the Hartwig Clinic in Illinois.
Well, how?
San Remo charter flights.
San Remo charter flights? So that must cost a bundle. Where did you come up with that kind of money?
San Remo Charter is owned by a friend of mine.
And?
And the bill was paid by Action West Corporation in the state capitol.
Action West Corp. Now, that is interesting.
Something. Action West Corporation, President Mark Polis. Action West through Southwest Enterprises owns Ace Collection Agency, statewide finance company, Southwest Repossessions, plus about a dozen more. And through Constructors Incorporated, of which Mr. Polis is also president, they are the parent company of...
O'Leary Construction Company.
Right on the nose.
So Polis is the one behind it all.
Yeah, it has to be. When we started putting together all of his companies for our defense, you see, he got worried.
And he got to Mrs. Berwick?
Through her husband. What do we do now?
I think we get to Foxy and some police and have them take care of her friends. Then we can finally have that little talk with Mrs. Berwick.
This is a very serious matter, Mrs. Berwick. You now state that your charges against Mr. Petrocelli were false.
Yes.
Do you understand the penalties for your act?
Yes. May I say something?
Yes.
I didn't have to get involved in this entire case in the first place. I could have run. I didn't have to testify.
I understand that, and for that you are to be commended.
I've always thought of myself as a pretty good person. I've tried to be a good wife and a good mother. And my husband was very seriously injured a year ago in an accident. And we thought he might never walk again. And then, shortly after the arraignment, a man came to see me.
Mr. Polis?
No. But I suppose now he must have worked for him. He told me he was from the insurance company. And that he had been consulting with the doctors about my husband's case. He said that they were doing everything possible for him here. But if my husband could just go to the Hartwig Clinic, they had new advanced techniques, and they might be able to save his legs. Well, I told him that there wasn't anything in the world I wouldn't do to try to help Jack. We didn't have any money. There was no way I could pay for that. So he said that he would look into it, and there might be a way. And then he left.
But he did come back.
And in between, I kept hoping and praying that there would be a way. I made myself believe that there was a way. Then he told me what they wanted. They would pay for all of Jack's bills. And all it would take from me was a statement and a signature. Just one little signature to save my husband's life. I didn't know you. All I knew was that you were trying to help a killer get off. I knew that I needed my husband. My children needed their father, and he needed to walk again. And I knew that whatever happened to you couldn't possibly be as bad as him lying in a bed for the rest of his life. And I signed that paper, and I lied, and I'd do it again to save my husband.
Honor.
Yes?
I think we can all understand Mrs. Berwick's reasons. I, for one, have no desire to press charges against her.
Mr. Fox, would the people concur?
People would, Your Honor.
However, Your Honor, I would make two requests of the court.
Yes.
One, that the district attorney's office investigate Mr. Polis and those people responsible for this.
Yes? And the other?
I would request that I be reinstated on the Buck case and work as co-counsel with Mr. Fisher.
So ordered. Gentlemen, shall we open court?
Mr. Petrocelli, whatever you may think of me, this doesn't change my testimony. I saw your client with a dead man.
This letter opener marked People's Exhibit number 1 and entered as the murder weapon. You identified this?
Yes, sir.
And the fingerprints thereon?
The defendant's.
No further questions?
Mr. Fisher? No questions. Witness is excused.
Your Honor, some evidence vital to the prosecution in this case has just been unearthed. The coins and watch belonging to the victim have finally been found. Now, I haven't had time for disclosure to defense counsel, but I would like to present the witness.
Mr. Petrocelli?
No objection, Your Honor. We feel that these items are just as important to the defense. Aren't they?
Lester, you found this watch and these coins?
Yes, sir.
Lester, do you know what the truth is?
Sure. It's the stuff that you tell your old man when he kicks your butt.
Well, that's as good a definition as I've ever heard. All right, Lester, since you know what the truth is, why don't you tell us in your own words what happened this morning?
Well, me and Leroy, that's this dude I know, we was over on 11th Street, just kicking around, you know? And there's that old vacant lot. So we was cutting through when we seen all that good stuff. I mean, that old stuff. Well, we figured somebody had thrown it away. So we took it over to the hock shop. See, could we get any money for it? The next thing I know, the cops picked me up, and here I am.
All right, Lester. Your Honor, no further questions.
Mr. Petrocelli?
No questions, Your Honor.
The witness is dismissed.
Your Honor, I would like to point out that these items match exactly the items stolen from the decedent on the night of the murder.
Defense will concede that these are indeed the stolen objects.
A case for us. Now we can prove robbery. I don't know. Look, I know Foxy. He's got something up his sleeve.
Your Honor, the people call Sergeant Robert Driscoll. Sergeant Driscoll, you tested the watch and these coins for fingerprints.
I did.
Will you tell the court what you found?
Well, there were 4 sets of prints on the coins, 2 quite recent.
And to whom did the prints belong?
Well, the 2 recent prints belong to Mr. David Miller.
Now, he's the owner of the pawn shop.
Yes, sir, and to Lester Andrews.
That's the young man who found these items?
Yes.
Now, what about the others?
Well, the 1 set belonged to the dead man, and the 4th belonged to the defendant, James Buck.
It was you. You killed him. You lied to me every step of the way.
What'd you expect me to do? We had a fight. And I killed him. I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to steal either, did you?
Right, I stole. But I didn't know what would happen to you. I swear it.
Your Honor, we feel it's important to note that these items were found on 11th Street, less than a block from the scene of the crime. Not 50 feet from where James Buck parked his car.
What do we do now? We get him to change his plea. Now listen to me.
The only chance you've got, is to plead guilty. And maybe, just maybe, you can get voluntary manslaughter out of it. Huh? Your Honor, the defense would like to change its plea from not guilty to guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
Mr. Fox? People would so agree, Your Honor.
Well, it sure knocked hell out of my instinct average, I'll tell you that.
Your instinct average, it was my first case.
Well, as somebody once said, you can't win them all.
Especially if you don't win the first one.
Well, it's got to get better from now on.
Oh, Tony, maybe that's Mama.
Yeah. Anthony Petrocelli, attorney at law. Huh? No. No. Who told you that? No, we're still taking on new clients. Oh, no. My office is closed because we're all out here. Yeah. Your mother-in-law's been in your apartment for 3 months, and you want to get an eviction order? Oh, a large fee? I see. Well, how would you like a guy who's full of fight and vinegar, huh? Well, he's standing right over here. He's a terrific attorney, and his name is Fisher. I want you to talk to him.
Hello? Yes. Well, I would be glad to. Well, I don't have my own office yet, but, why don't you meet me at Mr. Petrocelli's office tomorrow morning at 10? Yes, that's right. Well, it sounds like a great case. I think we can have her out in about 2 weeks.